Can I be the president when I'm older?
Well, of course, you can be whatever you set your mind to.
But my mother laughs when I tell them I want to be the president.
Come, let me tell you a true story you can tell your friends when they laugh at you. Once upon a time, there was a small boy who watched his father and uncles start the struggles that eventually led to Ghana's independence. And you know what the boy learned from the struggles?
No.
Perseverance. Perseverance. It means never giving up until you have achieved what you set out to do. So when the boy grew up, he became the Secretary General of the People's Movement for Freedom and Justice. And you know what he did? Because he believed in Ghana and democracy, he persevered until his movement brought down the military government in 1978. Really? When he saw that there was no justice for Ghanaians, he led the Kumipreko demonstrations for human rights. He persevered and mobilized Ghanaians for multi-party democracy, which was achieved in 1992.
Wow.
And then, in 2008, he stood for Ghana's presidency, promising free SHS and industrial transformation.
Did he win? Is that how we got free SHS?
No, he lost this election, but he won people's hearts.
Did he persevere?
Yes, but that is one quality people admire in him. So, he stood for the elections again in 2012, and again he promised free SHS and industrialization.
And this time he won.
No, they lied about him. They said he would burn down the country that he's fought all his life for.
That doesn't sound like him at all.
You are right. He lost a disputed election and took it to court. When he lost in court, he accepted it in peace. He may have lost the election, but he won more hearts.
I hope he persevered.
Of course he did. He ran again in 2016, and this time he won! And Akufo-Addo became the president of Ghana.
Yay!
And do you know why he became president?
Because he
Persevered!
Grandpa, one day I'll be a president.
Everything is possible.
The situation was dire, and I remember the previous NDC government took Ghana to the IMF, and it came with conditionalities of freezing on public sector employment. And then at the same time, the country was suffering from doomsday. And so it led to collapse of several businesses, especially in the private sector.
It got to a time that a lot of these young men and women had lost hope totally of the value of the sort of value that their qualifications had for them, and they had to congregate around an idea. I'm sure a lot of people remember this, Unemployed Graduates Association of Ghana, and a lot of them, I'm sure that there were scenes in parts of the country where graduates had to do certain jobs that obviously did not involve any sort of specialism that they had from these tertiary institutions.
There were graduates who had finished their national service and stayed home for 4 years, for 5 years, nurses and teachers who had stayed home for 6 years, some had even stayed home for 10 years without opportunity of being posted into any public sector employment. This was how bad and how difficult it was for young people. In fact, if you check the World Bank data at the time on youth unemployment, the figures were double digits, and it was very, very high among young people in the country.
I remember in a particular instance, one of the demonstrations that got very loud, the then president suggesting that, look, listen, jobs don't come that easily, and he wasn't a magician. It could only take a magician to solve the unemployment problem that these graduates faced.
As soon as His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo took over office, he started to take steps to reassure young people of this country that he was going to give them opportunity to work. And I remember NAPCO was one of the initiatives His Excellency outlined.
I'm sure that one of the most euphoric moments for every young person in this country was the scenes at the Black Star Square on October 17, 2018, when for the very first time, having gone through the enrollment processes, our fellow citizens got the very first glimpse of trainees, as we call them. The president declared them ready for work on the day. And these were young men and women who were beyond control, beside themselves with joy and excitement.
About 100,000 of these young people have stayed home for 4 years, for 5 years, for 8 years, quickly got opportunity to be offered some kind of decent wages.
Staying in the house for quite too long and then actually having the opportunity to work, I mean, it's a joy. It's a real joy, and I can't keep it. I just have to make so much noise and then be very excited about it.
Yes, look at me, an adult like me. I still collected money from my parents. It's very shameful to me. My younger brother who's in class 6 is still collecting chop money, and I still collecting chop money. So we thank the president for even taking part of this issue.
NAPCO is a very great initiative that President Akufo-Addo brought it on board, and we are all happy to embrace it.
I begin with words from Holy Scripture in Psalm 118, verse 24, and I quote, "This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it." Today is a very happy day for me. It is a day when we begin the process of banishing the specter of desperation and restoring hope and dignity to our youth.
Thanks to, for the very first time, someone thinking that a solution could be brought to their problem. Something that felt impossible. The previous president said that it would take a magician to be able to find them employment. President Akufo-Addo became the magician that found them the employment. And for them, one of the best things or best days of their lives.
My name is Fafa Afia Samani. I finished University of Cape Coast in 2015 with a bachelor's degree in film studies. When I finished University of Cape Coast in 2015, I wasn't able to secure a permanent job and my mom got very sick. I wasn't having enough money to support her, so I needed to go down to Kwando. The medical bills and everything was becoming a problem on me. And at the same time too, my younger brother too needed to go to school. Family members do support me, but getting food at the same time buying drugs and supporting my little brother was very difficult for me. To tell you the truth, as a lady getting to 30 years at that time and with no job, it was very difficult for me because she was diabetic. She was amputated. In 2018, I heard about the president's program to employ unemployed graduates in Ghana, which was called NAPCO. I applied online and it was very easy for me. After that, I got an SMS to attend an interview. I was called to come and start work as a NAPCO trainee in the Kwando Municipal Assembly at the Secretariat. The monthly stipend that is being paid helped to support my mom and even myself to buy medical items and also give some to my brother to start school.
And from his very conceptual beginnings, you could tell that a lot of investment had gone into the thinking processes that gave birth to the scheme, that from the very point of entry throughout the processes to the very point of exit, everything was in place to make sure that the very barriers that kept our graduates out of the labor market were going to be addressed by the time they went through this 36-month program.
NAPO has been very beneficial to me and my family. Personally, it gave me the job experience that I needed. And in NAPO, there is also an online learning platform whereby you enroll and even write exam to even get additional certificate. Medda kpena na Akufo-Addo ela be ya eko NAPO kofe eye wo kpede hunye eye wo kpede nye family chem eye atamede akpenelo.
Today, thanks to the Builders Corps, you have a lot of confident young men and women who wake up every day, over 100,000 of them, with an opportunity to go to a workplace, with an opportunity to earn an income, with an opportunity to be able to develop their skills better, with an opportunity to be able to make a meaningful contribution to nation building in areas such as education, in the health industry, in the digitization processes, in the mobilization efforts towards revenue in our country. If you look at the support that is going, as of current data, the Nation Builders Corps services over 3,000 institutions, both public and private.
I always knew that one day there will be a breakthrough, and the breakthrough was the NAPCO initiative that came. So I also applied. I was there and I received a message that I've been employed by NAPCO. It was a relief for me. I felt so happy. I thought even getting the work was all. They've paid me till today that I'm speaking. Now I have my own capital. I sell black soap, I sell lotion, I get money. Now I shop for the house. In fact, I'm able to live the life I want. I have even forgotten all the problems I was in.
And people will not forget this, that there was a president who wanted our graduates in the streets. President Akufo-Addo wanted them in our offices, and today they are in those offices working and assisting in the nation building effort. And that is something worth celebrating, if for nothing at all, that over 100,000 young men and women can finally have a footstep in the labor market.
Hi, my name is Salamatu. Yes, these are both me. You see, before free SHS, my life could have taken two very different paths. The SHS path depended on how much money my parents had, what sacrifices they were willing to make, and whether they would send me or my little brother Issa to SHS. The other part is what would have become of me if there was no free SHS. But today, thanks to free SHS, my future is bright and promising.
Congratulations, you have an A.
He's a boy.
Instead of depending on others, I will stand on my own feet and help my family. Free SHS is where my dreams for a better future and the dreams of thousands of young girls become a reality. Don't let NDC take it away from us. Vote for NPP and give all Ghanaian girls a chance for a better future.
Hey, Mamia, as I know when I see Afa! Hey, who can't you atum? I was here. Who can't then attend any free education? And you know, quo, they said, do so, and you want to be a Marcos on your mere air cost why I seek a summer so I cost on. We are sure, say, no qua. Hey, I hear from Mamma say why. Sawa. Now, whom ye?
Maka, Fanajo, my meal.
Who can cry maintenance you? And I COVID by why light free, water free, staying in a one good bottom, so still I mean, I say. Unim, Mammy, I dream be
yeah, I use a corn was at Tiber Park. Oh,
Sawara. I have what one said, Namuki.
I said my cow for I dream, mammy.
Sawa, memory, and you don't know what down was in.
It wasn't another 2 man.
Number 1, Afa!
Within the rocks and aka, if we say we are quite crude, we a fool, Minamu, a fool, a yammy papa fool, a branami yakulan, Mita ebejano, a fool more hasi. Sableno, nay or my panuco for ableso. Na coco nazare, any spray, and no more the free. Na me mama so nenkola owo mo akire nyina so na nyina so eye free say yenso ye area na health insurance so no na ye ko hospital so free de na ablabo no na emu ye ma yen pa ensisaye ema NDC aban bai na ya area wo kokko mo e friend se sambro no ye gya etwa enti se sickness na na omo de man ya ya area no ma na ye dua enti na ya adwuma hu ablabo no mu be ye den. And I'm so my papa kura efrimu. Sabra so na ya bra na mawie JHS or semi course secondary school. Nanso ena ma ho kire ntino man tumi anto aso. Aho kire no ma me ma adwen se me konkran na makwa kodi pa. Every 2017 a o ma mpanyin akofo ado baaye no. O de nsakara foforo abaku adwumam. Omo ana obetwa ye kokko no maye. Na o maye bode a ye dua. No mwangasa ye lan empege na omwangasa nso abedua kokoo no na omwangasa nso adomu emfie mienu enso bode na omwadua no enyina ye kuafo na ye kokotwa ye bode ye twa ye kokoo no a eka mienu ne fa bia no ewo mpatasi kanso a ode ema yen entizese de ede ani je soronko bi abehye memu a kokoo adwuma no eno ana sese de meye ntu kwan enam na akofo ado ne hyehye pa ode ama kokoo kuafo ntino ye beto aba aboye mpuntu ho ban na ma ne mfie nan e de aka ho ama na ye bebre ama kokko akuafo
Efera eri asaba aba
mana na kakrabe wenya school yi bi na wodo ko school fees skasu in ho mo hu yo nti ma baba nya odo me di mwe me ho ko bom ho na mo koton na me school fees ma mo do ko
eri efera announcement ni dede na de wura wo bobebe nti hwe
then
SHS school nti se o ye free idi fili kadoji me bebe nyini nya owo mi nchen dan when you school bi nya na me de no kwai manto books manto squanta manto she
the man
mo yende sa akola no nya board na bottle trunk na chow box ana ne man kitinkiti bi e dey so a azu onya se be man pocket money ana no lol for the boko school
me da sa ate obi yi mo bi kire ne free SHS oya no kwal trouble
as soon as His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo took over office, he started to take steps to reassure young people of this country that he was going to give them opportunity to work. Also quickly replaced the then youth enterprise support of the NDC with the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program. I mean, it was very good for the youth of this country, because if you look at what the YES program did under the NDC program, even though millions of young people wanted jobs, they could only support 66 beneficiaries across the country. Only 66. And so when His Excellency came and saw the scope of the program, he realized that no, he needed to change it and brought in the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program. And I'm happy to announce that in the past 3 years, in the 3 windows of applications that we have done, we have trained 45,000 beneficiaries across the country and funded up to 10,000 of them, with a minimum of 2,000 Ghana cedis and a maximum of 100,000 Ghana cedis. And we have created almost 100,000 jobs in the private sector through just the NEIP program alone.
My name is Moses Amwakon. I'm the CEO of Amomos Bricks and Tiles Works and Construction. We produce bricks and brick cladding, block walls. Not for all that, we use bricks to do ovens, incinerators, and for building as well. I heard about NEP to support new entrepreneurs, so we applied. After applying, we had some amount to help our business. At first, we didn't have water. The funding that they gave us has helped us to have our own water here, and we've been able to be producing the bricks with our own water. At first, we were buying 60 cedis per barrel every day. Because of the support from NEP, we have been able to save 60 cedis every day. So that has helped us to employ 3 more workers.
My name is Stephen Kwanzaa, the Goledewe Training Center. We are located in Gomwa-Dego, in the Gomwa West District, in the central region of Ghana. We manufacture quality shoes, sandals, and slippers. And then we also train interested youth and adults on how to manufacture these products. We heard of NEIP announcement on television somewhere in August 2017. Then we thought that per the criteria given, we qualify, so we have to apply. We just went online. Within 15 minutes, we are done with the application.
My message is you are part of the beneficiaries. No, manage your pa. Na me as them when yankopon. Training any free. The hops now me and tumo no. Boy and pa. Amo church say be ya. Eba ma yenyuma anyini. Ghana yuma. The be me kasa de ha Ghana businesses no. Ghana manufacturing no say. Obo say yuma ne be nyia. Be du ba bi wo ho na fe na yuma na aba form. And in the hubs, no more for training more. You bet me sustain your business for a long period. You bet me send a 10 knack for dinner. You say, but Berima, not Berima, how many years? Nibia 50 years. Oh, 100 years, ni Berima di. Almost churches are quite way. I bet my first one,
There is this young lady into coffee processing. She used to have 9 workers. Now, after receiving funding support from NEIP, she is now having over 206 employees, including outgrowing farmers.
My name is Ivy Were. I'm the CEO of Kafmark Enterprise. We currently have a brand called Cafe Magnifico. That's a authentic Ghanaian coffee beans that is roasted and processed by Kafmark Enterprise. I'm an NEIP beneficiary. And my projection actually for this year is to create a unique blend with the Ghanaian beans and then East African coffee beans, because East Africa have a very unique coffee beans that if we join with the Ghanaian beans, I'm sure that we will have a very good flavor, and then we can be able to achieve the mission of the company, which is to supply and be the best coffee preferable to many coffee drinkers all over the world.
There is this young lady who is into Adinkra Ventures. She does shoes, and she's been able to sign agreement with Ghana Prison Service where she trained inmates on shoes production. The prison authorities gave her a contract to produce boots for the authority. We gave her 10,000. Within 1 year, she came to repay fully, and we gave her additional 50,000 cedis on her second contract to train the prison inmates and also to provide boots for Ghana Prison Service. So many young people have so many good stories to tell from the interventions of His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo through the NEIP program.
A good man earns a good reputation, and with his good reputation, he sets a good path so that young ones will come after him and follow, so that one day, when all his marks are done, we can indeed point a right finger in the face of God and unto a man and say, hey,
if you look at the presidential business support, the presidential page, persons with disability, young women in entrepreneurship, so many models that was introduced, especially through the Ministry of Business Development and the NEIP program. Many young people can now boldly say that they have found some sustainable jobs and businesses that they are handling themselves.
Your Excellency, we thank you for having us here today. Never did we dream a day like this would come, when we will be receiving support directly from you. Over the last couple of years, I've been looking for money to grow my business, but I've never had it until today.
Last year, I was here pitching for my dream. My dream was to turn chicken into chips. Today, I have it here in my hands. Mr. President, funds made available to me was 25,000 Ghana cedis last year, and with that, I've been able to build a small kitchen to test these samples and to also produce.
Day mijina ha na mede aseda emenya nkopon a waka ye papa de ne mpanimfo akoma na wo madwene yen ya yedi dem so ye ho fi semre bi atwam no na yenya ne sei na senne waka ya hye ne yam yenya president aye haw ye ne haw yesu ye ne su ye kwada na ye ne kwada na de ye kan ne se papa woni wo mpanimfo ye da mase
na meda asenso a na meda yen president ase se wanya adwempa ewo ensanodwumanfo ho wanya adwempa ewo se opese o ma businesses enyini wo Ghana esanse me se da bia me ka se o ma we nse manufacturing enyini wo Ghana ye bebre na waso mu sie no ye bompa ye se ne se jese yankopon se o ma na hoden na o ma na nyansa ni nimdi a obetimi amasa initiative se atiti no atimi akoso.
So when you hear people talk about NAPCO being President Akufo-Addo's baby, it's the sort of vision that gave birth to the scheme. And what the vision means is this: if you're a president such as President Akufo-Addo, dreaming of building a transformed nation for us, I mean, the young men and women of this country will live to see that transformed nation. And his vision has always been one of making sure that we prepare the same young men and women to be able to exploit the opportunities of that transformed nation. So when we do get there, they are not struggling in the very way that we have had problems.
We have found a magician who can create jobs for the Ghanaian youth. The magician is Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. In fact, immediately he brought 100,000 jobs to 100,000 Ghanaians who have stayed home for 5 years, for 8 years, for 10 years through NAPCO. He has brought us
na efri Bomudune Constructions Limited Designs ya wabayagu windows,
which is helping tens of thousands of young people and funding their projects for them. So we have found a magician in President Akufo-Addo, and we are not prepared to look back to doomsday promises.